My name is Jason Jacob, but everybody knows me as Jake. Been here for 29 years, I'm the service manager here. Started off as a valeter, detailer for Ron back in the day, and still do it now. So this one has just come into us now, a lovely Vauxhall Adam, but it has got some little marks up the side that a lot of people would be concerned about. I'm not, but as a customer would. So I'd like to show you in detail what we're looking at and how we look at every car that come into Ron Skinner's. We're looking up the side of this car now. Yeah, it's dirty. We've got a small address on a small little dent here, which we've got a dent guide. I'll take that out, okay? It hasn't broke any paint, there's no major damage, but that will be addressed. There's some small damage up the side. As it comes up, there is something coming off there going towards the door handle. So what we're going to do to make sure we're going forward in the right direction, the next process is we're going to get the car completely washed off so there's no dust or dirt on the car. Then I'm going to address these scratches. So in the next video, what we're going to do, we're going to have a look at how to get rid of those scratches. Right guys, you're back with us now. We've washed the car thoroughly all the way down, get rid of all the dust and everything, so we can have a fresh look at it. Two areas of concern we've got. We've got a mark there in that bumper, which have been a little scuff mark there. An area of concern, which a lot of people would be, I'm not, it's that there, and we've got a mark here. So I'm going to go through the process with you now of what we're going to do to remove these from the car and that to be removed from the car. We've got some products here that I use, water with, we're talking 1500 paper, that's what it is, okay? It's a very, very fine grit sandpaper basically. We always keep it wet, okay? So what we'll do now, I'll show you a step-by-step of doing this. If anybody's going to try this for the first time, you go very, very slowly and very, very gently. Don't go rubbing at it like you're rubbing down a bit of filler in your wall or anything like that. You're talking about your pride and joy here, and that's where every car is when it comes into Ron Skinner's, is pride and joy. So we'll start at the front, and then we'll go up into this area, do this, and I'll explain to you what I'm doing and what I'm looking for as well. You've got a bit of paper towel and a cloth. Better wet your paper, put it on there and just hold it on there. Don't go pushing, just hold it on there, right? And then just slowly. There is an edge to this bumper, so don't just keep working on that edge. Try and work all over it, okay? You'll need to sand all around it. There's a couple of light scratches, marks in there. I've rubbed that, say, between 12 and 16 times. Don't go crazy on it, because if you do, then we're talking, then you might have to have your bumper repainted, just for a smart, small mark. The reason I'm blowing on there, so I can dry it quicker, so I can just see what I'm left with. I'm not going to do no more to that. I am happy with that. And then we'll go on to the next stage. But as we've got this in our hand now, the 1500 paper, we're going to dress the door. Look at that. We'll start getting the scratches out of that. And then once that is done, that will move to the side and we go on to the next process. Same process again, exactly the same now on the door. So just make sure you've got plenty of water. It's nice and clean. That is clean now, ready to go on this car. So as you got the scratch there, we will go with the scratch, okay? Don't go, opposite to it. Just go with the scratch. As you can see, my hand, dip it in. Watch the plastic. We don't want to be hitting this, okay? You hit that, it's plastic. So yeah, you can get it out, but you've got to be careful not to go hitting anything else. You just want to get on this scratch. So what we do, rub into the scratch and we start flattening. I got the weight of my hand on there. I'm not pushing, don't push. Just put the weight of your hand like if you was leaning against the panel and just flat. Just go with it. Come down a little bit. Don't stay on that scratch. We'll wipe it clean. Again, going over give it about 10 swipes roughly now, because the lacquer on the car is quite thick. So that's all you're doing, is flattening that lacquer down to get rid of the scratch. Right, and we dry it off. I'm blowing at it just to look at it to see if I can see an indentation of that scratch. I can't see anything there. Like we've done with the bumper, we've gone to this panel here I'm happy. So we'll go up into here, but again now, a little bit more of a danger area. The danger area is the edge of the door. The machine, what I use, will run at 3000 RPM. And what it can do, will overheat that very, very quickly. It will actually burn the paint. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna keep away from that edge. People who's not used to it will probably use masking tape down this edge as well to stop it catching. And here we go again on this scratch. We're going to get the machine out, which is an electric polishing machine. It's a very good machine. It's also a very dangerous machine, only because when we get in this lacquer back up, machine turns so quickly, if you keep it in one area too long, it can burn, and it will burn, especially bumpers. Bumpers, and I will explain that to you when I get the machine out and what I'm looking for and what I'm going to do on that. So we can say we finish with this. Everything what we've just done now on flattening down on panels and bumpers. What we're going to do now is get it back up to a gloss finish. So again, we've got a cutting compound here. 3Ms do a four stage cutting. This is the main cut to start. It's very abrasive and it just brings up everything what I've done. So the mop head as well. What I like to do, some people like to smear it on panel. I don't. I like to put it on my pad. The pad is going to do the work, so I can't see why this shouldn't go on the pad. I like to stick it on the pad and cover it. That's enough to do, okay? Some people put too much on and it just throws everywhere. Don't need it, you're throwing your money away, okay? So what we do, this mop has got a variable speed. This is plastic. It'll burn, it can overheat rather quite quickly. And turn it all the way down. So it's down to about 1000 RPM. And stick it on there, don't take it off, don't spin it up, get it on there. I'm covering everything I want to do with the product first. As you could probably see there, I've gone from starting off very slow, getting it on there, getting the product on the car, and slowly just gradually speed up a little bit, not fully speed it up, because this plastic, it will burn. We're going to get some polish on the top of that. I'm going to wipe that off first, get some polish in there, and then we're going to have a look at the detail of what it looks like after what we've done. All our products up at Ron Skinner's, we use Auto Glim, okay? Put them on, just cover what you've done. And what we'll do now, we'll just take it off now and just see what we got left. We've got a very, very small touch up there. We'll touch that up just to take your eye off it, but it's plastic and then it will never rust. It won't get any worse or any better than that. So we can address that. We'll move on to the door now, and if the door comes up anything like that, we're all in a good place. Same thing like down there, exactly the same process. Cover what you're going to do with your product. Same thing, exactly the same. I will turn it down. So bear in mind now with this one's a little bit different to that. We've got a lot going on here. We've got that edge and we've got these two edges here. You know, because when you look at the mop head, that would probably cover the panel so easily. If you're not used to it, it's just take your time, because if you don't take your time, you can burn that within a second, burn this within a second, and it can go through that paint quite quickly as well. So here we go, we'll go back down. As you could see, right, we was using angles on the mop. We was like that with it to a point. One, because I don't want to go nowhere near this. Don't want to go near that edge. If you get scared, you're better off putting some tape over that trim. Get tape over it, so if you do touch it, you will hit the tape before you burn the trim. Here we go, we're going to put the final finish touch now to all your hard work, what you've done. And what we want to do is just cover what you've done. Just cover it all over, just to see. Nasty little mark has gone out there. It looked nasty, you know, with somebody doing it properly. What you should see by here now should be a wow factor. And we can always check, like I said, if you're not happy with it and you can still see something, you can still do that process exactly the same what you've done. You can go over it again, but you've got to make sure, you've always got in the back of your head, this paint is only so thin, even with the lacquer that's on the car. The finish on that, I'm happy with, and I think any customer would be as well, even if they was bringing it in, if they had a mark on the car, they would be over the moon with that.